real news. Honest and fun political talk weekly on The Line 90.7 FM. The MAGA bomber, as they were calling on Twitter, sent packages containing pipe bombs to Soros, Clintons, Obama, John Brennan, CNN, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, even those addressed to Holder, Maxine Waters, Robert De Niro, Joe Biden, Cory Booker, James Clapper at CNN, Kamala Harris, Tom Steyer, and all these packages were delivered, and they arrested this suspect in Florida with a white van with a bunch of Trump memes kind of on his window. The FBI says there's no hoax devices. These were all legit, and they found his fingerprints matching the bomb. So what do you guys think of this? False flag, conspiracy, or an actual crazy guy?
I just think it's really weird that the van literally had stickers on every single window. Like, how could he have driven in that van?
Wait, it had on every single window.
Pretty much, yeah. I think
Yeah.
someone said that there. Now, I didn't see this part, but someone who came up to me yesterday said that there were even some on the windshield. I didn't look at that part of the van, so I can't confirm that. But still, even if it's on every window that's not the windshield, he supposedly drove to New York so he could drop off that one package at CNN, and then drove back to Florida with stickers all over his windshield and wasn't pulled over.
To be fair,
Either he had other people or I mean, either way it's bad. If it is just a Trump supporter, like I'll condemn them, but I really don't think it is. I think it's just a very angry person on the left who wanted to make people on the right look bad, because I mean, one of the bombs would have gone off at least if he was real, unless he's actually not smart in any way or doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they did show actually pictures of this guy being at Trump rallies, so it's not like
that's true.
I do think it's actually legit. That this guy is crazy and he did do these things, but at the same time, he's just at a level of weirdness that just makes you wonder that it could be something else. But I don't know.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that they had pictures of him at the Trump rally, so that changes it. But yeah, even if then I fully condemn him. Obviously, you shouldn't send bombs to anyone, really. So yeah, he's just probably a bad, crazy person. But that proves that you can do stuff without like guns. He just made bombs instead. Like,
right?
No, they didn't work because I don't know how you'd make bombs that don't work, but they didn't. So which is good. That's just what makes it weird. But I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it at that. I condemn everything that he did, no matter which side he's actually on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. You
want to say anything?
I mean, other than I think he could have driven the van, even if it had stickers all over it, because, like, I have to drive all my stuff from college to Virginia, which is like a 4-hour drive for me, and we fill up our car to the point where you can't see out any of the windows except for the front window, which is not safe.
That's a little bit harder to notice, though. Like, a cop seeing a car driving won't notice that as much as, like, someone with stickers on
I
the
thought you were
windows
saying that he couldn't have driven it because, like, it made it impossible to actually drive
I think he would have gotten
safely.
pulled over.
Oh, okay.
Going through, what is it, to New York, Florida, 8 other states. So that's why unless he put the stickers on after, if he knew he was going to get caught and was like, okay, I'm going to put these stickers. But then that's what makes it seem like if he was a true Trump supporter, why would he purposely get caught as being a Trump supporter?
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, like, he doesn't do a good job of, like, hiding who he is at all.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it is just some crazy guy.
Yeah, I don't think
more than that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say he's a Democrat then because he was at Trump rallies.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that. But he's just a very crazy, angry person.
Well, some people are saying that he was, I think he did not have parents when he was growing up or something. So some were speculating that he was looking for a father figure. And Trump is daddy, right? So that was their theory, not mine. I don't know.
Whose theory was that? Because if it's CNN, that is the final straw. They're not a real news organization after that.
I think it was people related to him.
Therefore, bombs.
Yeah.
I don't even have a comment on that.
Hey, I know, it was weird. It was some like New York Times article that was like interviewing people that knew him or that were related to him, and that's what one of them said was that he saw Trump as like a father figure because he said he was reaching out to the forgotten men and women of America. That's the most craziest thing I've ever heard.
That's something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, to be fair, whenever they interview people after, like, someone commits a horrible crime, the people never really turn out to know them at all, because they're always commenting stuff like, yeah, I never would have thought that, like, Jimmy would have, like, killed 10 kids. It's
they always say
it's
that.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like you would have noticed
Right.
something was wrong with the person. And the friends never seem to really know them. Like, they always get people who I'm skeptical if these are their real friends, or if they had friends at all, and they're just sort of picking people who might have been their acquaintance.
Right.
To answer questions about them.
Yeah.
Which isn't helpful to know anything about them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Same here.
I don't know.
Oh man, I was drinking some juice.
Oh.
Are you sick from the Tesla you rode in today?
Nah, I think the juice made me sick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the big boy juice.
What? Anyway, do you want to talk about topics, Mr. Alex, and then we'll go off topic later?
Oh yes, what's on the topic list?
Well, we just talked about the bomber a bit, but we...
Yeah, that was right down over here.
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that next. Yeah, so there was the Pitt Synagogue shooting, and that's right near Alex's area. The shooter killed at least 11 people during a baby naming ceremony at a synagogue, and he had this Gab account that people were digging into, which showed that basically he hated Trump and he hated Jews. He thought Trump was controlled by the Jews, and he didn't vote for Trump, he said, and he blamed the Jews for helping the migrant caravan. So he's got the whole Jewish conspiracy, wrapped around everything. And the last post he ever did, he did 5 minutes before the shooting, where he just said, "Can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics, I'm going in." And yeah, it's pretty
See over
spooky.
there.
What was that?
The thing, well, see over there, the thing with Gab, the problem with that is no one uses it, so no one's going to be able to action if like 5 people are online at the same time.
Yeah, I know. So nobody really saw or took it any seriously. But Jeff Sessions says they're gonna probably charge him with a hate crime, and he's probably gonna be executed.
Well, what's the
death penalty.
charge with a hate crime? You shot up like 8, 10 people. Well, what's the point at that point? Like, you get like 1,001, days in prison instead of like 100, years.
Yeah, well, they're gonna put a bunch of other charges on him, which will crank it up to death penalty. But how was it in your area? Did you see a lot of cops or anything, or what was it like?
Where I was at, not so much. I mean, I'm surprised he made it to Squirrel Hill because the traffic over there is so terrible. I thought he would have just flipped out before then, in the tunnel. It's so bad over there. But yeah, that's messed up that he decided to go postal on them. It's kind of interesting though, because have you listened to any of that Q stuff?
Oh, the QAnon stuff?
Yeah, the QAnon.
No, I don't take it seriously. I just think it's just a meme.
If you actually looked at it, they mentioned something about this was months ago, and I think I don't know if you saw that, but it was all over alternative Facebook about right around the elections there's gonna be a mass shooting, and it's gonna be someone who follows Q and is a Trump supporter, anti-Semitic.
Yeah, the timing of this is a bit weird, but I think with heightened emotions for midterms, people are going to do crazy stuff. But at the same time, I think QAnon just puts a bunch of stuff on the wall and sees what sticks, and that's what gets spread on the internet. I think that's really how they, get the notoriety they get, is just because they're just throwing stuff out there, and it, they give a lot of vagueness to it, so any case can really apply to it that's relevant to it.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think it was very interesting. This comes a week after the Trump ban.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, it's almost like there's I don't know, something's up with this.
What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think Alex would have had as much to more to say than I would because of where he lives. But yeah, so it was sad, obviously. You don't want that to happen. But.
Yeah, I honestly haven't been reading enough on it to give an informed opinion. about, like, I don't know all the small facts that could, like, say whether or not it was related to, I don't know. I have no clue, to be honest.
Oh, at least you're honest. But yeah, I don't know a lot about it either. Like I just I've been following the updates, but most people don't know anything about it 'cause, like, there hasn't been a lot of information. Just because they brought him into custody, he did not kill himself or anything, and the police didn't kill him. So they're obviously going to question him. We're going to grill into that. But let's move on to some more fun stuff. Some man who happens to be in this room decided to do something to trigger a lot of people on campus, right?
Yes, I did. I did a change my mind table on it said I'm pro gun, changed my mind. And for the first, we were doing it from 12 to
4:30 roughly.
4:30. Yeah, we were gonna do it 12 to 3. And then no one came. Like, we had one person come up and talk to me from 12 to 3, and I was about to, like, stop, and then a whole group of people just came, and it was probably 15 people.
That's
were
what
watching.
I thought, yeah. It was about 15.
And a lot of good conversations from that, but then this group of 3 people came up and claimed that they knew people who were in the Parkland shooting who died, and they were very angry at me for no reason, and
Well, they advocated for banning all the guns.
Yeah,
Like, she
they-
literally said nobody
we
should
can
be
get
allowed to
there,
have a
yeah.
gun.
yeah, she said she was like, nobody here, not you, pointing to everyone, nobody should own a gun, any kind of gun at all. She wanted to ban every single gun from every single person.
Yep.
That's a very dangerous mindset to have. But that's what she wanted, and whenever I disagreed, she just gave me, like, the weird looks, like, really? You're giving me facts? And she
Hate
was very...
facts.
She was, like, so shocked that you would possibly disagree with her. She looked like the type of person that probably was surrounded by people who agreed with her constantly. So, like, someone who disagreed with her slightly probably would have made her upset, but, like, you being so far away from her, like,
Well,
politically-
I didn't even get to tell her that I wanted to legalize machine guns.
Yeah, we didn't get there yet.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. I mean, she probably would have just lost at that point. But, you know, obviously I don't want her to act like that. But it's like these people they make themselves look bad. I'm very sorry for what happened to her. She said she had 3 people she knew die in Parkland. I'm very sad
Yeah,
about that.
I told her sorry, too.
But it's a big but. That doesn't mean you can get away with acting irrational like this and just saying, oh, let's ban all the guns.
And like it wasn't nobody else who I talked to were like that. The one person who came up at the end, he apologized for the way she was acting.
Yeah.
He was like, I am sorry that people who, like, I agree with, like, people on my side are like that. That wasn't fair to you. That wasn't fair for any kind of good conversation. He was like, I actually respect your opinion greatly, he said to me. And it was a very good conversation. And I had one with the guy before him. I had a lot of good conversations. I actually changed the one guy's mind who wanted to ban AR-15s because he
Was that
thought...
the friend I brought?
No.
Oh.
No, someone was standing up there near the end, and he was like, I don't really have that much of a problem, but I think we should ban assault rifles. And he pointed to the picture of the AR-15, and I explained how it's not an assault rifle.
Wait, did he really?
Yeah.
Did he say the AR stood for assault rifle?
He thought it did, and I
I
told
think
him.
people
Oh.
like him are worse than the girl.
Yeah, but I changed his mind.
Yeah, but people like him, it's a general statement, are worse than, like, the overly passionate girl because they're just, like, so ignorant and they never would have become informed, like, except for a random occurrence of your table.
Yeah.
And so they would.
I'm sure she's
those are the type of people making policy who, like, and it's the majority of people. It's not that girl. It's the person who, like, literally doesn't know anything.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I feel like the girl also didn't know anything.
Yeah, but
I feel like she probably wouldn't have known that an AR was not an assault rifle.
you think?
I feel like she would have thought the same thing that kid thought, and also was the emotional.
I just think that the majority of, maybe she's, like, the face of the movement, like, making the policy to destroy our rights, but the people backing it and, like, helping that to actually occur are all the people like that dude.
Yeah.
Like, the majority of the people are
That's true.
The good, the well-meaning types, but they
That don't
actually
know
just
anything.
ignorant.
Well-meaning but uninformed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that with most of these people on the left is they keep talking about banning things they don't know anything about, and I have a problem with that because you should at least understand what you want to get rid of, or else you're just following a mob, not thinking through on your position, just like, oh, I don't like it, let's ban it. Well, let's think about what are you actually banning. You want to ban all guns? Do you want to ban semi-automatics, fully automatic? Like, what do you want to do here? There's a big difference between all those things. And when you start going them down that, they don't know what they're talking about, but they keep spouting leftist talking points. And what I'm glad is that the intent of Change My Mind, which Steven Crowder, if you don't know who he is, he's a popular YouTuber, comedian that does a lot of political commentary. He started this idea. It's been a great success. They're like hour-long videos or longer with just these. That the point of it is to have a civil, productive conversation on guns, on any issue, and he'll have a thing that says like, I'm pro-gun, change my mind. I'm pro-life, change my mind. Those sort of things. And the point of it is to have a civil, productive conversation, not people yelling, not cable news of sound bites and debates. And you were able to accomplish that perfectly, of just sitting down and talking to people rationally. I mean, the only semi-issue I noticed was that people would try to like jump in and interject at times that you weren't talking to.
Yeah.
But you
that
handled
happened
it
on
well.
my side too. Yeah.
Yeah, both sides did that.
People that were supporting me were saying that too, and I specifically told the person who was on my side stop talking. So because it was supposed to be.
It's not fair to
Yeah,
anyone.
you don't want to do 2 versus 1 or 3 or 4. So it's just. I was like, just keep it one-on-one. And yeah, pretty much nobody gave me attitude. I got some dirty looks of people walking by, but the only person that actually wasn't
more dirty looks.
Yeah, the only person that didn't really want to be fair was that girl who came up. And
Wait, didn't you get the finger though?
Yeah, I did get the finger at one point.
Woo!
Yeah.
5 points.
Count that as a dirty look, though.
Yeah. I'll say one last thing. I'll let you jump in now because I know you want to jump in. The one thing I'll say is I noticed that was fascinating was I expected so many people to come up and just yell at you and be like, oh, but we actually had more people come up
that supported
said,
us.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Where can I sign up for Turning Point? Then people actually coming up and saying you're an awful person or coming in. I mean, I will give people, the people that do sit in that chair are people that are willing to debate, that do have an open mind. That is what I mean, those people deserve some credit where credit's due. And you got, I think a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 or 5 people that sat down.
Yeah, I think like 5.
Yeah.
And I talked to 2 people who didn't sit down that I talked to for a while. So
yeah. So it was great. I thought it was 100% successful.
Yeah, it was very successful, and I can't wait to do that topic again in the spring.
Oh, right.
Wait. We gotta wait like a few seconds.
Yeah.
Because it's on a 7-second delay, and I just dumped it. But we'll wait a few seconds because somebody, usually it's me that's bad with that screws up all the time. But I understand. Anyway.
At least I don't curse, Sean.
I don't curse. There's
I
no
don't crash
record of
cars.
that. I can't come back from
Did you
that.
ever tell that story on air?
We don't need to. Anyway.
These
maybe
listeners
later.
should know the truth.
No, they don't need to know everything about. They already know enough about my personal life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, Alex.
Oh, right. So I kind of find it funny how these people can probably tell the difference between 100 different genders, but can't tell the difference between an automatic and a semi-automatic weapon.
Yeah. That's
But
true.
no, like their philosophy, it's the same as the type of person who gets bit by a dog. It's like, I want to ban all dogs, I want to ban all pit bulls, I want to ban all this. They have the same sort of philosophy, and it's just like childish. It's like animalistic. It's like, and if they got mugs, they'd probably want to ban other things. But
I know you're flag there.
But yeah, no, I just kind of find it funny how like they say they're they want freedom against like big government and they hate Trump, but they want to go and like have banning weapons from everyone but the government. They hate Trump so much. They call him Hitler, but they want Hitler to have the only access to, machine guns and rockets and stuff.
Exactly.
They legalize it all.
Legalize machine guns?
Legalize machine guns, legalize rockets. Yeah.
All right, yeah. But Yeah, I think it is. Like, I always point that fallacy out with the left is they always talk about the government doing this to help them, but who's in control of the government right now? It's not their guys. It's Donald Trump, and they want Donald Trump to ban hate speech, ban guns. You really want him doing that of all people, especially when you call him Hitler? I mean, it's really just they're not thinking straight when they say that.
Yeah.
See, here's what I would do. I go and have like some posters and I have a picture of like Trump with like like machine guns and stuff, or like dressed as Adolf Hitler. Be like, do you want this guy to have that only access to guns? Support the Second Amendment.
Yes, it's like those memes that was like, Putin has meddled in our elections, demand voter ID. Stop Putin from meddling in our elections. Those were great. Use their arguments and use their logic against them. That's the most effective way.
I agree.
Yeah. So, anything else anybody else wants to add on that?
Sean, do you believe in legalizing machine guns?
Oh, God, gotta put me on the spot.
You're outnumbered here, Sean.
Okay, in principle, I feel like, they should be legal, but in practicality, no.
Why?
Because I think for as much as I believe in freedom and all that jazz, there are exceptions to every, amendment. And I think that's mostly because it's for a greater public safety, that we're going to trade off a tiny bit of freedom for a large amount of public safety.
Would you change your mind if someone like Mark Zuckerberg became president?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, would you change your mind if someone that you really, really don't like and don't trust is president?
I would have the same. I've always had this stance. I've never been for legalizing. What?
What if Richard Spencer became president? Would he
He's never going to become president.
To have fully automatic weapons?
What? Oh, yeah, I heard most of it. I still would have the same stance because it doesn't matter who's president. We still have 3 branches of government that protect the president from doing anything extremely radical.
I mean, they're in charge of the military.
Yeah.
They could do something pretty radical. And as you saw under...
Yeah, but you don't need a machine gun to stop that.
The past few presidents used a lot of executive orders.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
There's so many executive orders.
That bypasses Congress.
What allows at this
executive
point?
orders.
Like, what is the difference between an executive order and just a law? It feels like the president can just nowadays just.
Yeah, the president.
There's a lot of things he can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
and they don't last forever.
Executive orders are not protected. They're not in the Constitution. They were given to the presidency though later on.
By who?
I believe by Congress.
Congress has given the president a lot of power
recently.
That's
so dumb because
Congress did that. I think it was under it's like a clause in the Constitution. It's like you have the ability to go and execute stuff, and it's supposed to be really limited in scope, but over time,
yeah, it was supposed to be limited.
Like everything.
Expanded. But like when you get things like DACA, where like you can't undo it, and that was an executive order, that completely changes things, and people don't realize how messed up that is.
Yeah, but I think executive orders can only last like the term of the president or something.
No,
because DACA.
Yeah, and Trump.
Well, no,
Trump's first executive orders were reversing Obama's.
Yeah, and he reversed DACA. Like the thing with that's complicated with DACA is he stopped DACA from continuing, but now you still have people that are protected under like I think it's like some sort of provision of DACA where they're still, they can't be deported, but they're not really under DACA. It's really confusing. I remember reading this a few months ago, but it's really confusing stuff.
I thought the Ninth upheld that he has to continue DACA.
No, I think, the circuit courts were ruling some stuff, but they really don't matter because they ruled stuff on the travel ban, and it got completely overturned by the Supreme Court, which is obviously the highest law in the land, really. So, it's very complicated, but I know he ended DACA, but it's like it doesn't take into effect for a few years, or there's some provision. It's really weird. I just don't know everything about it on that.
Like, honestly, legally, I don't see what the problem is with having people have, preferably one system of anti-aircraft weapons, because I think that's a big deal. I think we should be able to have anti-aircraft stuff.
Yeah, I mean, keep it very, very expensive. I would understand making it like, 'cause you can buy a tank. You can buy a tank that fires too. You just need a lot of money. So why don't we just keep it like that? You know,
Devil's
legalize the stuff.
advocate. Would you really want the super wealthy elite being the only people that can buy the?
That's how it currently is for tanks.
Yeah, but like,
I mean,
but
and
don't you need
buy.
like certain licenses to get a tank and whatnot, and you have to be,
Yeah, it's pretty easy. You register
think
each bullet that you shoot out of tank, not bullet shell, is a destructive device. So you basically go through a 6-month waiting period for each shell that you buy, but you could just buy 20 at once. You get them 6 months later, but you pay the price of the shell and you pay an extra $200 tax stamp because it's a destructive device.
But are you comfortable with like the current system where, like you said, so tanks are legal? So basically, if someone wants their own personal army, they can kind of just.
Yeah, I want that.
That's my point.
That's
I'm
the
trying to
point.
make here is
That's the
that
point.
Is
that
that
it should
if
be
it
good?
was totally unregulated, I know it's not the current state of things, but if we were allowed to have any sort of firearm, any sort of mass weaponry, you would the rich and the elite could theoretically build an army.
But so could the not rich by just
No,
banding
they can't afford
together.
it. They can't afford it.
Okay,
Well, no, they need
no
to
one in
deregulate
the
that.
3%ers is rich, and I'm pretty sure they have a few tanks.
Well, I'm not saying. Well, how expensive would these things be? That's the
It
other
depends.
thing.
I mean, it's
Tank's
just-
pretty cheap. Like
Yeah,
20
a tank's
grand,
20
less than your
grand.
car.
The tank is 20 grand.
Yes,
I
you
thought
can
they were
make
like
it-
hundreds of thousands.
No, you can buy a surplus tank, 20 grand, and put rubber treads on it so you can drive it on the road.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do that. Not gonna lie, but not saying we should legalize all of them and all that stuff. But
They are legal.
yeah, I know, but they're safe, legal, and rare. But it's just I think like going back to the original point, like machine guns. I'm not gonna play the argument of do you really need to have a machine gun that can shoot? No, that doesn't matter. It's like, well, do you really need to have cake in your life? No, but you still have it because you can eat whatever you want. Now, I'm not trying to create a false equivalency here because obviously cake can't kill people.
I mean,
I
have
mean,
you seen
okay.
600 Pound Life?
I mean, it'll kill Rosie O'Donnell, but it's not gonna like, you can't just throw it and somebody like
More
dead.
people die from like fat stuff than machine guns.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
mean,
they're not legal.
Sean, obesity is like within the top 5
Well-
causes of cancer.
Causes of
and,
cancer.
and when
Yeah.
machine
Might be
guns
top
were
3.
legal, they literally were in only homicide that wasn't gang related, and it was a crooked cop. So
Really?
yeah,
I mean, I'd have to look in that because I don't know anything about it. I'm not gonna like make a definitive.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you
Well,
on
I
that,
just-
but I don't know.
I just like the main point. Even if they were used, like it's still an infringement because the point of the Second Amendment was just in case there's a tyrannical government. I know you're gonna say that would never happen, but it happened.
No, I know. That's
But,
why I like. Look, I am pro Second Amendment. Let's start off with that. I know you're gonna disagree.
You're not pro
Not
Second
enough.
Amendment if you're pro Second Amendment, but
Okay, but look, I'm the biggest free
But-
speech. Okay, I'm a free speech absolutist, but even I acknowledge there are exceptions to the First Amendment. You can't say a lot of things.
Yeah, just like you shouldn't be able to point a gun at somebody and get away with it. That's the equivalent of threatening someone's life with free speech. I would understand that. You shouldn't be allowed to just point your gun
Well,
at
that's not
somebody and get
speech.
away
That's
with
an action.
No, what I'm saying is with free speech, you're not allowed to threaten people's life by saying I am
Yes,
literally
yes,
going to kill you
yes.
at this time now. So like
Just said on air, but okay.
yeah, that's an example.
Yeah, I know.
NSA.
Yeah, you cannot do libel, defamation, slander, clear,
Yeah.
imminent threats, and you can't promote illegal or not.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful. It's not promote. It's it is. Is that
But,
promote
like,
illegal
And
activity?
I understand those, but none of that is equivalent of banning a machine gun. The equivalent to that in the Second
Yes.
Amendment would be that you can't point your gun at somebody unless like they're
That's a
threatening
false
you.
equivalently. I think.
I don't think it is. I think it's
No,
a good
because with
because-
speech, you're banning certain types of speech. You're saying you cannot say this, but we allow that. And the
No,
same
like,
thing with the
banning
Second
machine
Amendment.
guns
We
is like
ban certain things.
Like throwing you in jail if you say the N-word.
What?
Yeah, that would be banning certain types of speech. Would be banning hate speech. If we
Well,
ban
nah.
hate speech, that's like banning hate guns. That's like banning machine gun.
No, I think that's different because.
That's a type of speech.
Hate. Well, I was gonna
And
say
if
because.
we off of the use of newer technology, which is what a lot of people use as their argument for machine guns.
Well, that's
so like if you
stupid.
ban the use of free speech online, that would be like banning new technology, newer guns.
That'd be like saying you can't say the N word unless you're like over 50 years old, like at a certain time.
Yeah, yeah.
You need a license for that. No, because you're not allowed to do libel, let's say as an example. Libel is very hard to prove and define, yes, but you're still saying you cannot do this one thing. Same thing with some gun regulation, or saying you cannot own this type of gun.
But how can they do that when the free speech wasn't created to defend yourself from a tyrannical government? Guns were the
I would
Second
argue it
Amendment.
could be.
Well, in a way,
No.
yes, because you can protest. I guess that's part of it, but
Yeah.
like that's not the same as shooting somebody who's actually trying to kill you
Yeah,
or
I
your
agree.
family. So.
Well, all the amendments are different, but that's not my point. My point is that we do have these absolute principles that have exceptions. That's all my point is. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that is the world we live in.
But
Well,
why do you
here's-
have an exception for
here's
the?
the issue.
Yeah, I'll let Alex talk.
All right, so here's the issue. Like back in the 30s when they first regulated automatic weapons, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and suppressors, the reasoning behind that was that it was like the military didn't use those, so they were like considered, it wasn't protected from the Second Amendment because like the militia wouldn't use that. But
Correct.
things have changed, so now short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and machine guns are often used by the military. So therefore, the 32 or 33 National Firearms Act is actually invalid.
Yeah, and I think it was like it wasn't necessarily reversed, but there were ways around it that were actually easy. And then in 1986, that's when it became seriously like impossible unless you buy one older than a certain age.
Dude, it's been a crazy day. Like, this thing is just, oh my God. I don't know why it wasn't working, the Mac, but I got the phone
It's
to
a
work
Mac,
at least.
that's why.
No, it's not.
You need to go and yell at them when you're done this. Just go up there and be like, yo, the football people messed everything up again.
Yeah. Well, actually, like, I saw one guy that works at the radio was outside, and I got him in here to fix the phone, but, yeah. Yeah,
Did you figure
so...
out what else was wrong?
No, I really don't know. It's very, 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 very weird.
You need to yell at them. Just show
yeah.
you're dominant. Be a
Hey,
dad.
would you admit I've been getting better at that?
Except today.
What?
Except today with the issues.
Well, I had to do this quickly, but I'll do that later. But like, because Mikey and Olivia wanted to leave after an hour, and I didn't want them home too long, so I just sort of kept going and going, trying to get through quickly, and not hold them up. But anyway, so, oh man, that was stressful. Cause I'm just like, I don't know why this isn't working. It was like really frustrating me, and I'm like kind of low energy today, and I'm just like, oh, what am I
You
doing?
can't get Chad if you're a virgin.
What are you implying about me?
That's the boss saying. You know, the Chad versus the virgin. You can't be both.
Oh, that was the wrong one. Hold on. Yeah, Mikey was playing his favorite little sound box here.
I keep forgetting about that.
We were just talking about that. Guns, guns, guns. But yeah, Changed My Mind was very successful. But you, sir, went on an adventure today. Would you like to tell us how that went?
Oh, yeah. So I got to test drive a Tesla Model S today.
Yeah. So what did you think? I saw a little bit of the video that your girly girl posted, but that's about it.
Yeah, so there's some benefits and disadvantages to it. Like, the one cool thing was being able to have it work for you. Like, that's really cool. And then the map, that's kind of cool. It just shows the map and then plays music from there, and the screens for commute.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Like, there's some.
Oh, I hopped into Discord. So I was just going to see if that was going to work. I don't think it's going to work, but I was just trying.
Yeah, hold on, let me think about it real quick. I'll just do something here from now on. But yeah, I'd like the ability to have it park itself. The self-driving was not that great. Wasn't a big fan of that.
Sorry, I can't understand. What were you saying? Can you say it clear? I for some reason, it just sounds like you're coming out of a can.
Oh, geez, yeah, that's the sentence for you.
Yeah.
But I like the self-driving. I like the parking. The self-driving, I feel, wasn't very well done.
It was or was not?
Was not.
Okay.
that it just like wasn't available in so many areas.
Mhm.
Like it
Oh.
showed on the little map. It was because like there's so much construction,
Mhm.
and it just didn't like that.
Interesting.
But the other stuff, like the acceleration was cool, but like I did not like the regenerative braking. It made it really hard to pinpoint how like fast they're going because with my car I could just kind of, coast it down.
What was that? You're dropping out big time.
The regenerative braking,
Yeah.
I feel like that was a bit too powerful.
Uh-huh.
Like I would go and use it, and it would like just slow it down way too much.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess when I drove, I didn't know, or my dad drove, didn't notice as much. But what do you think of the acceleration of it, though?
Oh, so acceleration was nice, but like it just didn't feel like it. It definitely put you back in the seat, but like unless you're doing just all out,
Yeah.
it just didn't feel like as big of a deal. Like it's just two silence in there, and I don't like that. Like I like to hear something, I like to get the environment. But with this, I was
Mm. Did you like the ludicrous mode?
I don't. We didn't test drive it. The guy was stupid.
Yeah, well,
The
that's
guy
how it
sucked.
goes
He
really
kept yelling
fast.
at me.
What? He kept yelling at you?
Yeah, he like yelled at my girlfriend for recording. He was like, "Oh, we can't be doing that." I mean, I did go and just stop on it, and it went plenty fast. But like, it's just speed. Like you can go on a bullet train. You go in an airplane, stuff like that.
I can't hear you. You're like in a bad cell spot or something?
No, I'm in the regular location.
Oh, this is
I haven't
weird.
been moving. I think there's something wrong with the line.
Oh, there's a lot wrong today. Oh, it's been bad.
Next time you need to go and like have them like test it out earlier.
Yeah, but it was working last week. I don't know what happened.
Well, yeah, but that's football people.
Yeah, that's true.
You should have tested it like as soon as you came in there. And like, I don't know, like, did they let you come in early?
Yeah, I came in like half an hour early and I set up really quickly.
You should have tested that out.
What?
You should have tested that out.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be an issue, but it's what
Like
happened.
every time you gotta do testing,
Yeah.
like go open up your Discord and like send yourself something on Discord and see if it goes through all right.
Yeah. Well, since your sound quality's gotten better, you said he was yelling at you. What was he yelling at you about?
He's like, yeah, like it was really over my girlfriend recording. He really didn't like that for some reason.
Huh. I wonder if it might be a legal thing or something. I don't know.
It's stupid, but like he was like, oh, you gotta be careful going too fast. So what's the point? Like, bring me somewhere I can drive it all out.
Yeah, because that's what the guy at my dealer by me, he let my dad just floor it. When we were at a stoplight, he just said floor it. He put in the ludicrous mode and we floored it and it went really fast. I mean, sounds like you had like a cucky, that's what I see, cucky dealer guy. Like I'm just saying, my experience was different.
Yeah, I think it probably was the guy with us. Because your dad has money, but like, I'm a young person. And he's probably discriminating.
He discriminates against poor people.
Well, obviously, because like, so I probably have no intention of buying a Model S, but your dad he's older, so he probably has more money.
Yeah, but my dad pulled up in his Oldsmobile Cutlass from the 90s. Like, we were like in a, freaking, old, like, poor people car.
Oh, yeah. But do they actually look at that? Like, how was he dressed?
He was dressed fairly well. You saw how my dad dresses, right?
Yeah, I was like in jeans and like a camo jacket.
You should dress nicer, at least to like give the image that you're like some like rich kid or something.
I don't care. I'm not gonna buy one of those.
I know.
mean, I drove it and it was cool, but like, I don't know. Maybe good to my girlfriend because it'd be hard for her to break it. But like, yeah, it's like the old Volkswagen answer is like, get your wife a Volkswagen because women break things.
So what did you like about it, though? Again, you mentioned I think some things, like, but what was your things that you'd say you liked?
Yeah, the parking was nice. The ability to have it auto drive for you is nice.
When it works, it's nice.
Yeah, when it does work. But like for general highway use, but like you're not going to be using that going down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Like other than that, like it was kind of cool that little mini map thing, but like it just was. It was just too eerily silent. It just didn't feel as fun. Like it was cool being able to go past people. And there was like a Jaguar F-Type, I think, over there, and that was. I mean, you kind of did do a little bit of a racy race, but like not really racy race. I just kind of got in front of him.
Yeah.
I kind of cucked him with a C.
yeah, that's what I like the no noise person. Like I do like a nice V12 like engine noise, but I also like the nice quiet and smoothness to it, because it's like you can hit it and it just goes. Well, I know, just nothing. I mean, I
don't like that.
I mean,
like it's got me vaping more.
Tesla encourages vaping.
It does. You can like literally vape like the whole time.
Oh god, yes. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Like the parking was definitely the best feature though, because that makes parking in the city easier, and the ability to go and have your like stuff on. But most of these things could be done in a internal combustion engine car.
Yeah, but why aren't they doing it then?
Some of them probably are. I mean, my car is from a while ago.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, the stuff that you liked actually is like the stuff that, yeah, is in other cars. But for me, the thing I like is just the speed and the effortlessness of it. Like, I think you at least noticed that when you hit the gas, it's just effortless. It just
not the
goes.
gas pedal.
Yeah. Okay, the electric pedal. the smart pedal.
I can't say that. The kiddie pedal.
It's not for kids, but you would say like
the accelerator.
Yeah, the accelerator. Yeah, that's actually probably the term they use.
The manual has the gas pedal.
Yeah, but you'd say it's like it feels very effortless. It just goes.
Yeah, it feels effortless. It's like it feels like you're flying a spaceship. I don't want to fly a spaceship. I want to.
That's what's cool about it. Is it's like a spaceship. It's like futuristic.
I know, but like I don't like the future. I want to go like back to the
past.
Like,
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, I want to go back, but not to that past. I mean, like the 50s, like a Fallout sort of thing, but without the radiation everywhere. Like back when you could buy a car that was big, and it was like just going to shove exhaust gas, like the leaded gasoline. Yeah, that's why I like.
You can buy bigger cars today, sir.
Oh yeah, but they're nothing like get like a 80s like a DeVille. Get one of those. Like,
yeah,
I
those
drove
are
one
huge.
Of those once. I would take that over the Tesla.
What?
It just felt like the interior quality was just crap on that for like a $70,000 to $100,000 car.
Mm-hmm.
Like the interior quality was not up to par. Like that's Porsche prices, but without any of the cool things about Porsche. But you get electric, so you had to get plugged into your house and wait like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like I don't like electricity in my car. I'm sorry. That's like there's electricity in the car, but like I don't like it to be the sole like propulsion engine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't trust it. Like, what if you hit like a speed bump and then it like messes up the battery?
I don't think that's an issue, but it could be. I mean, it's gonna take. I mean, there's issues with gas cars too. It's just,
but you can wrench it. Like, you can go and like put like a turbocharger on something and make it like gain 100 horsepower.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Tesla. It's like the worst thing. It's like the iPhone of cars.
That's why I like it.
I hate iPhone. Like they won't even let you modify the like the operating system of the stuff.
You don't need to
do
that.
They have on disk DLC for Tesla. I don't like that.
Yeah, well.
But like the dealership too, like they're all like sniffing Elon Musk's like farts. They had like a little kid book. It was like Elon Musk. Think of someone else I actually admire. It was like Elon Musk. So I build rockets and tacos. It was like the most. It was the most just like blatant Elon Musk propaganda, just for little kids.
Yeah, they love their maker, I guess.
They just like worship him. like it was just about him. It's like, oh, I build rockets and I get bullied. But this isn't about bullies. This is about rockets. And then it was just the most like propaganda thing I think I've seen in a while. I mean, I like Elon Musk a little bit. I like his Joe Rogan interview. I think
Yes.
he has some good ideas, but I think he's ultimately a charlatan.
I think he's cool. I mean, we
But I
got.
can respect the charlatan. I respect Trump.
Okay.
I think he lies about a few things, but he does it well. He's Chad, and I think Elon Musk is a little bit of a beta.
Oh, so you think it's the Chad Trump versus the Virgin Elon?
Yes,
Okay.
he's a beta because
Well,
he got like I think he got like bullied a lot as a kid.
he got what when he was a kid?
I think that Elon Musk got bullied a lot as a kid.
Oh, bullied a lot. He could have. I bet if Trump got
He
bullied.
did. He showed it in his video, like in his book.
Oh.
He got pushed down the stairs.
Yeah, look at where he is now.
Probably like that episode of SpongeBob where like he hit Squidward in the face and it made him beautiful.
That was the most random thing you've ever said.
No, it's like the one where like SpongeBob or he like hits Squidward in the like he gets hit in the face and he looks like beautiful. Like,
Yeah,
to
I
the
know what you're
beauty of
talking
being
about.
Genius.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it must have just like activated his elements.
He activated his trap card.
He made him smart.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe just no one liked him, so just stayed inside and read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, but he's South African, so shouldn't he be inherently Chad?
No, because his whole country got cucked with a T.
Yeah. But yeah, even Apple didn't do a lot of that with Steve Jobs. Like, I don't remember Apple having like his book there or anything, or even like doing stuff, except when he died. But that's understandable.
Steve Jobs is even worse. But at least he was like he seemed more of a Chad because he could like there was a Chad like Steve Jobs versus the the beta virgin Steve Wozniak.
Yeah. That's true. But Elon, you gotta understand, he's gotta be somewhat aggressive because he wasn't the guy that started Tesla. He didn't, he kind of worked his way up there by, getting a lot of stock in Tesla and, getting a lot of investors on his side and working his way up. So he would have to be aggressive in some regard. He'd have to be somewhat Chad.
I mean, I don't hate him.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I think like he's on the beta scale.
Well, I'm saying. Well, yeah, but when you're saying he's a beta, I don't think he can be.
He can be. Absolutely.
How can you become a CEO?
Like as a kid, like you don't just change when you become an adult. Like he might be an adult.
I am, aren't I?
I mean, maybe slightly, kind of like. I don't know. He still seems like he's a little bit of a little bit of a beta boy.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Boy levels. Like, I want to like this sort of like leftist stuff. He believes in climate change. Very beta.
Well, I'll say this. I think people generally don't change. I think there is some things you can change about yourself or make better. But, I think like down to your core, like deep down, you still are the same person as you were born. Like me, I'm still going to be me, but...
You can change, but I don't think he really has. Like, he just keeps doing stupid things. Like, he smokes weed on Joe Rogan. But
yeah, but you would have said that's Chad.
Like, it could, no, but, like, weed isn't really a Chad drug.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it is. Like,
I don't think
like
any drugs are. I mean, look...
Like a lot of people who smoke weed, like not all of them obviously, but a lot of them, like a lot of the ones I know at least, it just kind of makes people lazy. Like even Elon admitted that.
Yeah, but the biggest Chad, on the face of the earth right now, Donald Trump doesn't do any of that.
Yeah.
So I guess who else doesn't do all that?
Who?
Me.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That doesn't make you Trump.
I know, but yeah, 'cause he's got a lot of money and a lot of women. But what I'm saying is, I got some Chad in me.
Yeah, you keep eating those Oreos. You bring a lady over or something, she sees the Oreos, she's gonna be like, "Whoa!" Be like, they're gonna see like the 6 packs of Oreos in your.
I only have 4 now. Be nice.
Only 4 now. Like Jesus. She's gonna think that like you're one of those bulimics.
What? No, I just
Well, I guess you
stock
could bond
up.
over both having an eating disorder.
No, what? If I had an eating disorder, I would have like no food. Oh, you're talking about the one where
bulimia is the one where you eat it and then
oh, you throw up, yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
excrete it.
You
Eat and excrete.
They look. I think they'll think a lot of things about me, but I don't think they'll think. No, they might actually, because I'm so skinny. But
Yeah, that's why. You have all these like psoriasis and all this other stuff, and then you're skinny, and they're like, "There's something going on here." You know, they're either gonna think that or like you're on meth or something, but you don't seem like it, so they're gonna probably think, I don't know.
yeah, that's. Are
You
we
should
talking?
have,
Wait,
like-
you notice how all of our conversations turn back to talking about my lack thereof of sex life?
Well, is
Why
there,
do you
like,
keep
an
doing
update?
this? What?
Is there an update?
No. But we were talking about that before the show with Mikey. He was telling Olivia of how we bring up my sex life. I'm like, yeah, we do that.
Oh, I missed that.
You missed that. We're doing it right now.
No, they missed that. The second, unless they also made fun of it before then. So I was,
Oh,
messed up by the Virgin developer, Virgin sound engineer.
what? Sound engineer.
You should look into that.
What?
Maybe
Me?
you'd learn how to fix this stuff. That'd be like your internship, fixing this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
give you credit for that.
I wouldn't get paid.
Yeah, but you do it anyways. Get
Oh,
credit
so
for it.
noble.
You can write on your resume. You fixed the Penn State radio.
The Penn State Fisher radio was fixed by Sean. Wow.
And what did they do to mess it up so bad?
I don't know, actually.
Like,
Like,
do they just go like the football players and Chad football players? They just like keep smashing the buttons and like shoving things in places. Like, me no understand, not worky. Pull out cord.
no, it was actually just the regular radio people here, the actual football players. So I don't know. But at the next hour, we're going to try and like fix it. Because I felt bad doing it in front of them and like screwing everything up.
See, that was a Chad bone to your body wanting to come out.
What do you mean?
Just take up all their time. Oh my God! Like, so we went to this place, the Panera Bread, worst Panera Bread in the whole wide world. Like, they screwed up the order. It took them 30 minutes. I was over at the Chad Five Guys. A lot of masculinity there. Very manly place, because there's 5 guys, and they're probably not soy boys. It's real meat.
It's real meat.
Like, everything's got either meat or fries. Very American. And then you have this, like, sissy Panera Bread. And it just takes them, like, 30 minutes to make a frickin' sandwich. And then they get it. It's not even done right. Like, my girlfriend ordered, like, a whole sandwich. They gave her a half. And so then she has to wait, like, another, like, 10 minutes. And then we go back home, and they put, like, no meat on there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Every time I go over to Five Guys, you buy a burger. That's a big burger. And then right next to there was the other burger place, Burgatory. The one
Purgatory?
there. Burgatory.
Yeah, I got the joke, yeah.
It's a big boy burger.
Mm-hmm.
They have. I'll show you there one of these days. Like, it's a little bit pricey, but it's good stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've always considered Panera to be like the hipster leftist place that they always go to, but yeah, I do like Five Guys. They redid the one here. We should next time you're up here, we should visit it because they renovated it.
Oh yeah, I like Five Guys.
Yeah.
The burgers are all right.
Yeah. So you gave Panera Bread a piece of your mind.
Oh yeah, well we ended up getting, like, we went back, we yelled at them, and then they gave us, like, 2 more sandwiches, but then they forgot the bacon, which I didn't really like bacon. Like, I didn't like their bacon. I don't know, like, I used to like bacon, but I think the hipsters ruined it for me. Like, they put bacon on everything. They have bacon flavored toothpaste, bacon flavored, like, tacos, bacon flavored shaving cream. It's just like, really?
Yeah.
It's like avocados.
Oh, I hate that. Avocados are on everything now.
It's like, oh, we eat avocados and agave and all this other, like, hipster crap.
Yeah.
Like pesto, and it's just like, really, just stop it. Like, they usually put like some avocado on like a mousetrap, and it'd be perfect hipster bait.
So like a carrot on a stick, it's just avocado on a stick to get a hipster to do something.
And get some guac and like one of them like beard things because they all have beards now.
Yeah.
They stole it. They're appropriating like culture from like actual like testosterone filled individuals.
It's all started
Like,
because of Gavin McGinnis. He was like the OG hipster. He wore the glasses, the beard, and like his his shirt with the what do they call it? Suspenders. He's a cool hipster though, but every other hipster is not cool.
Yeah, they really aren't.
Yeah.
Like it just gets annoying, and they all have the same opinions. They're NPCs. It was like the first round.
They're
You ever play a
NPCs.
video game and they have those like character customization packs? It's like, that the hipster is one of those for your NPC character.
Yeah.
It's like when you play like World of Warcraft, and it's like the basic like one of the designs you click over to your character customization.
Yeah. Did alcohol give humans an evolutionary advantage? What?
I could see it because like let's say the human people early humans, they're probably like there were the monkeys and stuff, the apes and gorillas and whatever other primates, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna get drunk, and they get drunk, and then they're like, ooh, I'm feeling loopy, and then they're like, hey, what if we like take this fire and like hit it together, and they're like, Urgh! And then they like cause a fire, and they're like, fuck, dude. They probably took mushrooms too because they were growing around. They're like, oh, dude, what if we like, I don't know, like cook food on this? And like, oh, let's burn stuff. And then that's just how humans became. They're just like Beavis and Butthead. Like prehistoric Beavis and Butthead.
Right. Okay. I'll take your word for that. One thing I want to talk about is there is a Vox story that makes just anybody that listens to a particular character laugh. So I almost just said it. Vox had a headline that read, "How our drinking water could help prevent suicide. Some researchers think putting lithium in our water could save lives."
Yeah, that's something that Alex Jones would say that they would think about. That's why it's those water filters, at least originally.
Yeah.
They keep this crap out.
Dude, they're literally putting chemicals in the water and they're advocating for it. And if you don't like it, you're far right or a white nationalist.
Like lithium's nothing to mess with either. Like, that's a really potent antipsychotic medication. They don't even like prescribing people that because it messes them up so bad.
Yeah, I know. Lithium is what lithium is used for, and this is where they get the idea for this thing from. Is lithium is used to treat bipolar disorder. I don't know how effective it is, or if it really works, or whatever. But that's where they're getting this idea from. So Vox writes this story where they're like basically proposing that we just put a little bit of lithium in the water to help prevent suicide. Like they make this like this giant jump from it helps people with bipolar to it's gonna stop suicide. Like they make a big logical inconsistency there.
You know what'll help people like not want to kill themselves?
A therapist?
I don't know. Maybe like if they actually did something meaningful with their lives.
Yeah.
If they weren't like a bunch of incels. If they like actually went outside and they had like a real job. If they weren't art majors. I think like they just ban art majors.
Are you talking about BAs or just like majoring in art?
No, like just people who like major in art. Cause I know a bunch of them, and they're unemployed. Like, what are you gonna end up doing? Like, I know my one had to resort to selling furry artwork just to stay like afloat.
Yeah.
Because they'll pay outrageous amount of money for it. I recommend like any art people listening to this, if you need extra money, sell some furry OCs. You might not like it, but someone does, and they'll pay you like $500.
Well, I think these majors are stupid. I agree, but I think the bigger problem is that we shouldn't be giving people that have depression drugs because I think it screws them up more.
Well, no, like if they're really bad, it might help out, but I don't think we should give everyone depression medication.
Yeah.
Because like a handful of, it's a lot of millennials too. It's another thing. Like our generation is just so messed up, and I can see why. Because they were told by everyone like Oprah and their mother, like, oh, you need to go to college. but they didn't tell them what to go and take, so they end up taking something that sounds fun, like, basket weaving or, like, physical education. Like, oh, I like football. I love physical education. And then they end up, like, working, not even finding a job. They end up being, like, underwater basket weaving. What are they going to do? Who's going to pay for, like, underwater baskets?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for that.
Yeah.
You have someone take, like, feminist theory, like, who's going to, like, employ them? Like, some companies, they have to make positions for that. That's why really big companies.
Yeah.
And if you're not, like, a marginalized group, you're probably not getting hired.
Yeah. Well, they go on to this story, and they say, quote, in general, in the United States, lithium levels are much higher in the Northeast and East Coast, and very low in the Mountain West. So one scientist was speaking to Vox in their podcast. He wanted to say, quote, and suicide rates track the exactly much lower suicide rates in Northeast and highest rates of suicides in the Mountain West. So that's where that logical inconsistency I was telling you about comes from, is that they figured, oh my God, correlation must equal causation here. They have more lithium in the water, so that must be why they have lower suicide rates. But what's funny is their own article on Vox like debunks this, where it says, quote, a large-scale Danish study released in 2017 found no significant indication of an association between increasing lithium exposure level and decreasing suicide rate. Well, there you go. But they take it a step further and they say, the conspiratorial far-right John Birch Society became convinced that fluoride was a communist plot. The Ku Klux Klan came out against fluoride too. I think part of the longevity of this controversy has to do with the way it can activate so many different biases and prejudices, Hicks told me. As soon as you start talking about putting something in the water supply, you have a small or anti-government people responding very vigorously against that. Like, see, this is what's stupid. Like I just said, anybody that's against this is considered far-right and racist because you think it's bad that they were putting freaking lithium in the water. I mean, this isn't like what some fringe group thinks this is crazy. No, I think most Americans believe this is crazy.
Yeah, they're just going to start putting it in their small doses, and then eventually it'll be like fluoride.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, we'll just put lithium in the water. Same thing. Like, why do we need fluoride in the water? We already have fluoride in our toothpaste.
Yeah, and that's already bad. They've been finding problems with that, too, saying that fluoride's bad for you.
Yeah, they used to put, like, asbestos everywhere. Do we need asbestos in the water now?
Yeah.
Do we need asbestos in, like, our vapes? That's going to be the next thing to go and, like, help us?
No, I think what they're going to do next is they're going to start putting weed in all this stuff.
Oh, God. Yeah, make everyone become stoners.
Yeah.
Oh, that really helps America.
Yeah.
That'd be too expensive. Now, what I think is going to happen is they're going to start on small scale with, like, sparks. That is a mind-altering chemical. Like, that's why they have it for people with depression and stuff. It alters their minds.
Yes.
And that's going to make, and they're going to say this stuff, oh, to help with depression, and it's going to slowly, like, make the regular Joe just stupid, like, what's a Brave New World? I think they talked about that. Never actually read that, but I read the Wikipedia page. I'm an expert. But they're going to start doing that. It's going to make the average Joe stupid, but then all the riches will, like, not feed themselves so that they'll get, like, special, filtered water that doesn't have any chemicals in there. And then they'll be smarter, and they'll create, like, two species, like, of humans. You'll get, like, the average drone worker, NPC, and they're going to be these, like, just stunted. And they'll just, they'll have very low attention span. So probably start putting, like, Adderall in the water, too. So it'll make people even, like, really mess with their minds. And then the regular, the rich people, they'll be these, like, ultimate, like, innovators. And it will literally create, like, between the super rich and everyone else will become almost different species. But they're going to start putting birth control in the water.
Well, wasn't there something about that? Wasn't that like a thing where they were either dumping birth control in the water or dumping something? Am I thinking of something weird?
They're probably going to start doing that to go and, like, lower the population.
Yeah.
And then only let the rich reproduce.
Yeah, it's going to be the next form of eugenics.
Yeah, they probably like it. They want to go and I heard people talk about, like, the fringe people talk about, like, just have everyone basically a vasectomy and then, like, reverse it if they're, like, responsible, and that's eugenics.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever gone away. Like, eugenics has always been there, and now they want to do it with like abortion. That's why the left promotes it so much, because they want to go and lower the population.
Yeah, I think eugenics takes different form. Like, obviously, we don't have the old-fashioned traditional eugenics, but I think there are like ways that certain people are trying to, like abortion. That's a modern form of eugenics where people are trying to. I'm not saying all people that are for abortion are this way, but I think there's certain advocates or people in the top that will, basically they want abortion so it lowers population or somewhere, gets rid of people they don't like.
Oh yeah, that was what Margaret Sanger was. She was a believer in eugenics.
Exactly.
She was the founder of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. So it's not a crazy conspiracy. What I'm saying, like the founder was a eugenics advocate.
She really did. She was very racist too.
Yeah, she's extremely racist. Like she's genuinely just an awful person. But yeah. So that's that. Man, well, I was thinking of something to talk about. Oh, did you see the post I posted? The picture I posted in the Facebook group?
No.
Some guy looked like Luigi walked by.
Oh god, that's funny. I saw some guy who looked like Mario at Five Guys.
Yeah, there.
I was very upset.
You were very upset.
Didn't get mushrooms on his burger.
I
was like, dude.
I like that guy that works at the dining halls here with the mustache, like the hipster mustache.
Oh god.
You remember that guy? Do you remember that guy?
I don't remember, man.
You comment, you're like, hey, I really like your mustache or something you said.
I don't remember. Like, this is a while ago, man.
He's a guy you can't forget though. But anything else interesting happening in your life, or yeah? Because I don't want to talk about my relationship issues again when there's like nothing to talk about.
That was fun though. So they had, other than like the shooting thing that I missed because I slept in.
Oh.
You just miss it. I was just like woke up. I'm like, oh, what's going on today? I'm like, oh, looks like someone got shot. Like 10 people got shot, 11 people. I don't know how much. It wasn't even that much people, like in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ugh. They keep trying to go and like they need to stop publishing like the high scores because people are gonna keep trying to go and bypass them.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Yeah, like I mentioned it, but I didn't mention the guy's name because I think that's definitely one step we all need to do is stop publishing the name of these people because you turn them into celebrities and stop showing the pictures. You keep making them celebrities, but
stop telling them the high scores.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Well, I think the problem is journalists have to have a certain responsibility in reporting what happens. So I think death count is fine, but I don't think.
Here we go. If I was a journalist, I'd say, people died, someone shot up, this.
Well, I don't think it needs to be on the headline of CNN's website for a week. I don't think it needs to be on the news banner, on TV all the time. I think like you can say it like every once in a while, but don't just always have it.
When you go to CNN, you see it's like, the orange Hitler's out, banning, Mexican children who just want to have a life in America, and then he enables, people to go and shoot up synagogues and, like black churches. Like that's what you see on CNN. Like no wonder so many people are depressed. Yeah. That's why so many people cry. That's why so many millennials are on drugs. Is because they buy into this because that's everything but Fox. Even Fox has their bias too. That's why like people like us who actually go and say the real news, try to numb happiness instead of like CNN that just peddles in fake news and like
conspiracies.
Like it's cringe.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like like every time I look at CNN, I see that like there was Anderson Cooper who was a member of one of them like the robber barons. He was going to talk about like white privilege. He's the most privileged person. He was like born into one of the like top 1% of family.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Vanderbilt, I think. That's who he was.
Yeah.
Don Lemon with that smug look on his face.
Oh, I hate Don Lemon.
Like I can see why Trump hate watches them. Like thank God I don't get these channels anymore because I'd probably be depressed.
Yeah.
And I just have these channels. So I don't want them. I don't want to see propaganda like beamed to my television. And that's what you see.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like you start doing that. Like it's all this NPC crap. Like they keep making a big deal about because they know it's true. Because it's like, oh, like you could go and like make up a story. You could have a robot like tell you what's going to happen in the news, and it'd probably be more interesting than what you see. It's like, oh, Donald Trump did mean things today. The economy's going terrible, and because they try to meme into reality. They want it to suck to hurt the regular person. It's not going to affect them. They don't care if you lose your job. They don't care if you lose your life savings because they have millions of dollars. They want to go and say, like, you have the 1% to make you think that they're not in the 1%, but they are. They're in the 1% of people who, they're very wealthy and they want to limit your rights because they think they're better than you.
Yeah.
Because they were born with a silver spoon in hand and they have nothing better to do than to spew propaganda and attack the presidency because Hillary Clinton lost.
Yeah.
And, there was one thing I forgot. There was one major thing I wanted to go and talk about. So that show, the Sacha Baron Cohen one, like they had an episode on there, and I thought it was like just ridiculous. That like it was. They did his usual thing. I forget the first part of it, but then he plays this Mossad agent guy who goes around and makes conservatives look stupid. And normally it's just things like them playing with, sexual toys, making them like bite things they shouldn't be biting, or like occasionally he'll convince like politicians to say like racist things.
Mm-hmm.
But this episode, he got this like old Trump supporter guy, and he seemed like he was a nice old man. They made him like they basically had him like gang rape a Donald Trump doll to go and prove to pretend to infiltrate Antifa. That was the whole thing. They wanted to infiltrate Antifa. And the Antifa depiction, they made them look like a bunch of hipster vegans, when in reality they're like basically worse than the mafia. They're basically like ISIS. But they don't show that. They show them like at like an Occupy Wall Street thing, from years ago. And it's complete propaganda, by the way, this show. But this crosses the line what they do later. So they go to the Women's March in, I think, San Francisco. And then they convinced this old Trump supporter dude to dress in drag, and Sacha Baron Cohen also dressed in drag, and they squeeze their butts to make them look like they're like lesbians because they're apparently infiltrating some lesbian terrorist cell.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sacha Baron Cohen sold to the poor old man, and then he tells him to throw a basically hide microchips into a bunch of what Sacha Baron Cohen tells them are terrorists, and Antifa terrorists or radical lesbian terrorists, I think was one that names, because it's just some really bizarre story, into their pockets and stuff, and he does, and then he goes on his iPad, you need to blow up the terrorists. And then, the Antifa people. And then he convinces the old guy that he actually ended up blowing these people up on live television. You can see the guy was really uncomfortable with it. It was like that experiment back in, I think it was, Stanford or, back in the day where they convinced people to go and keep upping the electric shock. That's basically what this guy did. And he tried to go make it look like conservatives are all murderers. And it was just really disgusting what he did with that and what it implied for him. And then he ended up trying to kiss them later on. It was just really disturbing. The show, it wasn't even funny. I just felt bad for the guy. He's done some funny things before, even on that show, but this, it was just way too far.
Yeah. I haven't been watching it, so I have nothing really to say, but I can understand exactly where you're coming from. Yeah, it sounded like they went too far. For a second, I want you to hop on the Discord because I think I fixed the problem.
Okay, let me go. Give it a shot.
I'm sorry, but yeah.
Day late and a dollar short.
What?
Hello?
Yes!
Can you hear me on the Discord?
Yes!
All right.
You know what the problem was? You're gonna. First of all, what did you say before? When I said you said something to me a second ago.
What did you catch the stuff with the story?
The story, yeah.
The thing with the Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh yeah. I heard that.
I forget what I said beforehand. My memory's going to crap. My adult juice is running low.
You want to know what the problem was? Somebody muted the sound output.
You need to go and like make one of them cards. Like you remember Atypical? He had the cards that was like brush your teeth. You need to make one of those for you.
No. Well, see, here's the thing. Somebody hid the volume control on the menu bar here, so I didn't see that it was muted. And I went to the settings, and I went to sound, and I went to output, and it was on headphones. And the volume slider was all the way down, and that's why I couldn't hear you.
Oh my god.
This wasn't my fault. Somebody changed it. What?
Blame everyone else for your problem.
I didn't do
You
it.
need to go and put this up there, right? Like on a note card. You know, check this. If there's problems, then just do a whole list of things.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Put this on there.
Oh man, no! Look, I'm not used. That's never happened to me before. That's why I'm mad. I'm sorry, but like, this really wasn't my fault. I didn't do that. Would you agree?
You know, growing older and becoming a Chad, you need to take responsibility.
No,
The
I do
virgin
take
does,
responsibility. Yeah, but I'm not going to take responsibility for somebody else's issue by turning down the volume.
You gotta go and find them and be like, yo, what's going on over here, buddy? What's going on? I heard you were sabotage. Maybe it was like a leftist. Maybe they were deciding to sabotage you because they got triggered over your change my mind.
Yeah, that's it.
Probably got triggered over that. Yeah, I think you're a little bit late on that, buddy.
I know, but now I know the issue. Okay.
No, you got it working. But yes, the DC Jim did another stream.
Who?
Jim.
What did he do?
He did a stream.
Yeah, but what did he do? Like, what drama happened?
I don't think much. Like, apparently he's been getting DDoS, and he had to go and like buy another like internet. Like, he has 2 internet providers at his house, one dedicated just to streaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because people kept like DDoSing it, and they couldn't do anything to like change his IP because there are probably a bunch of boomers working there.
Mm-hmm.
God, be careful of them boomers.
Radical boomers.
Oh my god, boomers. They make me laugh. Like, whenever you go to the store, you know, like, they like to go and talk to the manager if they don't get their order perfect. Like, I've had to deal with... Have you ever had to deal with that?
Chad?
Like,
Isn't
my
that
mom's
Chad,
a perfect
though?
one with this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And they'll argue, like, a cashier over a penny. Like, if they're, like, charged, like, a penny, like, too much.
Oh, yeah, like, my mom does that. For steak's not just right, she'll, like, raise heck with the management. It'll go, like, oh, my God. That's why I don't like eating out, you know, at the restaurants when I'm with my mom, because it's just, like, oh, my God, like, nothing's good. And then when she makes it herself, it's even worse. Like, God, like, was it probably more Gen X, but geez, what happened back in the day when people could actually, like, not be terrible? Like, my grandparents, they never complain.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think complaining's a good thing in some regards, because if
like, they won't be, like, they won't be that. They're not, like, the stereotypical one. Because, I mean, they're technically silent generation, I guess, but...
Yeah.
You know.
The silent boomer.
But, yeah, anyways... Anything else interesting happened with the rest of the Change My Mind stuff? No, you told me about the gun one. Anything with the other one?
No, that was the only one we did.
Oh, I thought you guys had multiple tables set up.
No, we weren't allowed to book multiple tables.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why don't you guys bring your own tables?
Because they're expensive.
Dude, why don't you guys raise some money?
Nobody wants to give us money. We're on a college campus.
Yes, why don't you go and charge people like $10 for your membership?
No, we can't.
Why can't you?
Because Turning Point is against that for some reason.
Do you think you can talk to Turning Point to ask them if they can give you like a table?
They might, but they won't. They barely give us money in speaker fees. I mean, Jesus, they're for a rich company. They give us nothing.
Oh my god, that's how they stay rich. Like, do they have any? Why don't you go and ask them if they have any fundraising suggestions?
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Because you guys need to get that cash flow. Why don't you go and like buy a property? Start real estate investing.
Yeah.
using their money and then just use that. Have your own like house, be the only club with his own house. It's not a frat.
Oh god, this is all hypothetical, people. This is not a real thing we're advocating for before you pull that crap.
Why don't you go just make your own frat?
Yeah, the straight edge frat.
Yeah, like the university would love you guys.
They actually would. The right wing straight edge frat.
You'd be kicked out if you're found to not be a virgin.
Oh,
it would be.
okay.
There was a forum. I forget what the name. It was like Incel. I don't know if it was Incel. It was
frat.
Wizard Chan. It'd be the Wizard Chan house. Be like Revenge of the Nerds, but even worse.
Yeah. No, I would make a right wing straight edge frat.
So it'd be like not even Gavin McGinn, not even the Proud Boys. But at least they drink. Why don't you go listen to Gavin?
I do. I love Gavin. He's funny.
Yeah, but guess what? He drinks.
Well, so does Trump doesn't. And look at Trump's the biggest Chad. Drinking.
Oh my God! You see that like one picture? Like he's like on the live television. He's like Gavin, and he's like I think wiping his posterior. Like what's he doing? Like what does he do?
He's
like I don't want to pay for CRTV, but I want to see Gavin. It's like,
okay, well, guess what?
It's like that stuff with Sirius XM. It's like, oh, I want to go and listen to that one shock jock. Who's that guy?
Oh yeah, you're thinking of Sterling. No, not Sterling. What am I saying?
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
I want to listen to him. I don't want to deal with other crap because like I used to have like that, and they were like, oh, you can go and pay like what was it $20 for like a couple months. And then, you have to pay like an extra like $20 a month just for Howard Stern. I'm just like, yeah, no.
Wow. Yeah, but CRTV.
That's all I want to listen to on there. It's like the only reason I think half the people have that.
Yeah, but you get a lot more CRTV. You get Crowder's Daily Show. You get Gavin's Daily Show. You get Eric Boiling, who used to be on Fox. He sent around some pictures of his sausage and got kicked off. Yeah, but they have a lot of good personalities on there. But yeah, Gavin also has a free podcast that you can download daily.
You have to listen to that.
Yeah,
I got banned off of YouTube.
Yeah, he got banned from Twitter, and he doesn't upload to YouTube anymore, which is annoying. But he uploads some clips every now and then. But he's very funny. Like him and Milo when they hang out are so funny.
They should bring like Milo onto CRTV, but I know they won't because they're they say they're free speech, but they're not really.
They should. Yeah, Milo has his own thing right now, but they should bring him on CRTV because Milo is literally the best the right has in terms of like an entertaining activist. But like they're all scared of him, and that's why he's been kind of on the back burner
because
recently.
He's a provocateur. That's why.
Yeah, but they all are. That's the joke.
Not like Milo.
I know.
Not like Milo.
I know, but look.
Like he like dressed in drag at some like university and gave a speech.
That's like the least provocative thing he's done.
But then again, Gavin's probably done the same thing. Like he wiped his posterior on like national television. I think
it wasn't national. It wasn't national.
I keep seeing that one thing. Let me figure out where that's from.
It's from his web show. I've seen it. It's not national TV. But Gavin has at the Orlando thing, after the Orlando shooting happened, Gavin and Milo kissed at the site of the shooting.
He's like Bugs Bunny with that stuff. Like I know he's not gay, but he's like a frat guy. Like they're doing all the elephant walks over there, but they're strange.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of gay in him, but I think he could be bi, it's just he's not admitting to it. But
I think he's a frat boy.
That's what Proud is. That's what the Proud Boys are. Yeah. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with more real news.